others makes life less complicated. If we have situations where we just truly value and respect others, then we don't have to be worried about how others treat us because we know that we have valued them. Value and respect. There will be situations you will always have difficulties in relationships. That is inevitable because this world is filled with 7 billion people. We're not all alike. We're all very different. There will always be opportunities for conflicts. But when you have conflicts, keep it short. Make sure you resolve it as soon as you can so that you can live freely among the people in your community. Share your dreams and hopes because everyone has dreams and hopes. One of the things that we feel is really important even with our children is to understand what their dreams and their hopes are, what they wish in life. It's another one of those questions that everybody has, but nobody asks. But it's important for you to be able to find others with whom you can share your dreams and share your hopes. Take time to just talk about life and how you're doing. Again, it's one of those things that is so important, is so helpful for us as individuals, but is often never done. All of these things are just part of the aspect of when we express love to others. Value, respect, community, communication, all of those are that opportunity to express love. And again, of course, savor the moments. Enjoy the time you have with the people that are around you and savor them. Because you just don't know what will come after. And your moment is the only time that you have. The next portion of our meeting are our table topics opportunity. And I'll bring Benjamin up here to introduce us the table topics group.
Thank you, Elaine. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. When I heard the topic for this evening, I was excited because if you're like me, you want your life to be simpler. That's very appealing to me, and thank you, Elaine, for sharing some of those ideas. I think you stole some of those from my speech. I'm living in the moment. So this is the impromptu speech time where you have 1 minute to 2.5 minutes to answer a question quickly and intelligently. And so I'm going to ask a question and then call on somebody to come up front and answer. And so as you're walking up front, you need to think quickly and try to formulate an answer to the question that I'm giving you on the topic of simplicity. And so you need to look confident and bold and answer the question the best that you can. And so, yes, the first question of tonight. Elaine talked earlier about how someone in the 15th century was exposed to as much data in their lifetime as we are exposed to in one day. It's an interesting thought, isn't it? And so that made me think about simpler times. If you could live in a simpler time and place, what place and when would it be? And so I would like to invite Ozan.
Wow. It was a very difficult question. Thank you, Benjamin. Okay. 15th century, where was I?
No, just a simpler time and place than now.
Now, okay. So, I don't know, maybe I'm not agree with the Elaine's hypothesis in the, because, you know, it's like, okay, now we are getting many informations, like maybe they even calculated this 34 gigabytes, but I think even in nature, you are in a simple life, you are getting more. Because if you are quiet and you must more, you are becoming more aware. So you are getting information is like a classified and segmented, so you understand better. I don't know, it's like that's why I prefer maybe a place for there is more nature. Maybe it can a green place. I'm doing sometimes like I'm going hiking, that kind of things, because I'm a city person. On the other hand, because I like to go to social life, to go to sometimes drink a beer or something, and that kind of things. Sometimes we are going, she is taking me some theater games I'm not used to. So, for the nature places generally is impossible to do this. So that's why I'm not as before. I'm not the same idea, because we are getting more and more information. Thank you, I so anywhere in the nature.
As Elaine has also said, life can be complex. There are many complex things all around us and that we experience every day. If just one thing in your life could be simpler, what would it be and why? So I would like to invite Emre to share with us. If just one thing in your life could be simpler, what would it be and why?
Oh, that's a good question. You? Yes. In English, it seems very difficult, rather than Turkish, in the Turkish Toastmasters Club. One simple, maybe my career. I try to, like Mustafa, try to live and try to work in abroad, also in my company, also in another company. But it is very hard when you are trying to do from Turkey, because in Middle East culture is very different, and the behavior than Europe or America. And I just I just wanted to do this more easily in Turkey, because our people behavior and thoughts are a little different because of the environment. Thank you. And yeah, that's my how can I say? I forget the words. I'm sorry. Idea. And thank you. Thank you very much. Sorry, my first time. Thanks.
Since life is filled with complex things, there can be some consequences in our lives if we don't simplify our lives, can't there? What are some of the more significant consequences if we don't try to simplify our life? I would like to invite Seher to share with us. Seda. I'm sorry, Seda.
Seher's good friend, right? Yeah, she's my good friend, probably.
I'm sorry, Seda.
That's okay. I understand.
She can get out.
Yes.
İzmir a bit far away, that's why.
Consequences of not simplifying.
Okay. Let me think first. Okay. I think, like, I can only talk from my experience. I would say burnout, because if we don't simplify our lives, probably stress will build up, and then eventually we'll have burnout, and it will affect all our relationships and our work life and our health. So these would be the consequences of stress and burnout. Mainly, I would say burnout and depression. So that would be my answer. So these are the things, yeah. Oh, I have time. Okay. I'm just trying to
Follow me.
Okay. I don't know how many minutes I have, and I don't.
You have
Okay.
1 minute.
Okay. So I said burnout, depression, and it affects our work life and relationships and health. That's all I can think of at the moment. I cannot think of more. Yeah. If you like me to talk about what is burnout like, I can. I went through that many times.
So we have all done things in our life to help simplify it, right? So I would like to hear from Leo. What is one thing that you have done to help simplify your life?
Can I take that route?
What is a way that you've simplified your life? Thank you.
Well, my life has been not a very complex one. Mainly, I haven't seen a lot of work stress. I haven't seen a lot of problems with the government, bills, taxes, all that. My main complexity was my studies. I think the thing that helped me a lot simplifying my studies was one of my teachers have advised me to do a timetable about not only like many people put timetables from this hour to this hour I'll do this, from this hour to this hour I'll do that. I think more of a to-do list makes my life, my studies. Nowadays, when I move to Istanbul, a lot of my daily routines, my duties here, like I need to go to the bank, I need to pay my rent, I need to do that. More clear, more obvious. So I think calendars and to-do lists are an effective ways to simplify our lives. Thanks.
Thank you, Leo. Good advice. So when I heard the topic of this evening, I immediately thought of a poem that I had heard in my childhood years, and from Henry David Thoreau. And it is this, a quote. He said, "Simplicity, simplicity, simplicity."
Are you sure this is Thoreau?
I say, let your affairs be as 2 or 3, and not 100 or 1,000. Instead of 1,000,000, count half a dozen, and keep your accounts on your thumbnail. So again, his advice was make your affairs be as 2 or 3. If your affairs or priorities were 2 or 3, what would they be? Aydın.
I'm tired.
Yes, it's okay. It's okay. I can do both.
If your affairs could be as 2 or 3, your priorities, what would they be?
If I didn't understand wrongly the question, what are my priorities in my life? Okay.
Top 2 or 3.
Two priorities. I think the first one would be my family, because I think the family is the most important thing in a human's life. And I cannot imagine a life without my family, without my mom, my children maybe in the future. Why not? And my daughter. And second priority, maybe I will say my career, but I want to use this word in a more in a wider meaning, not only profession. I would like to improve my knowledge about not only about the profession, but also about the life, about helping people, about getting well with people. So they are my two priorities. Thank you.
Be listening, because you never know who I'm going to call. I will not call on you again. One of the ways that we can simplify our life is by having regular routines, so that we don't have to think every day about what am I going to do, when am I going to do it. Routines can be a very helpful part of simplifying life. And so, what is one routine in your life that you find helpful? So I'd like to invite Dila to come and share with Thank you.
Oh my, okay. I love this adrenaline. Okay. Actually, I'm an industrial engineer, and I love this topic because as an industrial engineer, we are always analyzing the process. We are always analyze the complex process, and we are trying to find the bottlenecks and non-value added steps, and we are trying to remove these non-value added steps from our lives. That's why when I was in university, I just found a book about Toyota production system, and they just write something, Kaizen. It's the Japanese word. Kai means change, and Zen means good, small change, it means. Because we are always expecting a big change in our lives, but we should think small little change. If we do this small little change, we can get better life. And if we would like to have this small change, we always make standardization of our lives. That's why we need these routines. And my routine is, for example, I'm really scared of speaking English, and I'm trying to read some pages of books in English and trying to listen some music because I don't like foreign musics. I like Turkish musics. That's my routine in my doing this time, trying to be friends with English.
Well, that is all the time we have tonight for table topics. But thank you all for being brave and courageously coming to the front and answering these questions on simplicity. So, turn it back over to Elaine.
Thank you, Benjamin, for those great questions to make us think about some of the other ways that we can turn complexity into simplicity. So may I have the timer's report
Of
on our
course.
speakers?
Hi again. All the speakers are eligible to be voted. Everyone was in the time limits, so you can vote for them to define the best table topic speaker.
Okay, if I can remind you of who they are: Ozan, Emre, Sedat, Dila, Leo,
Aydan.
Aydan. And Aydan. Sorry, Aydan. next session over to our general evaluator, who is
Well, this is the evaluation part of our session. At the end, we have a chance to evaluate the different speeches we've heard. And so we had 3 great speeches given earlier, and now we want to hear their evaluators to come up and share their thoughts of the different talks. The first speaker was Pınar, and her evaluator is Gizem. Gizem, would you come up and give us your evaluation of Pınar?
Thank you. Hi, dear fellow Toastmasters. It was a pleasure to Pınar's speech to evaluate. Thank you for this opportunity. I think Pınar did a really good speech, and she talked about at first time her life, and she was really too friendly, and she was honest about her life and her story and her past, and she was vulnerable. And we get to know the speaker exactly. Then her speech reflected educate preparation, and she really did educate preparation, I think. And she talked too clearly, and she didn't use her notes, not like me. Then I think she did a really good job, but I think there was one thing. For example, for her opening and conclusion, she did really good opening and conclusion, but between them there was no transition. It should be more clearly, I think, for passage transitions. And her point was smashed between simplicity and complexity, and she did a great job for her first speech. Congratulations. Also, we did a great job today, all of them. Also, she's really so beautiful. Her body opening was really good. And thank you all of them. Okay, thank you.
Okay, our next evaluator is Joy Van Sloten. She's evaluating Noemi's talk.
Again. It's so nice to be with all of you fellow Toastmasters and so many visitors tonight. It's great to have you all the way even from Izmir. Noemi, I really enjoyed your speech because I personally know Noemi, but we haven't had a lot of personal time together. So for me personally, I felt, and for all of us, we had a chance to get to know a lot about yourself. And you were vulnerable. She opened up with us into something very personal about her life. I enjoyed just her presence, her smile, the way she used her hand gestures, which isn't even necessary for this first speech, but because she is an accomplished speaker in the past, she's done this. I appreciated the fact that she was able to use descriptive words to describe her feelings. Like, for example, she was angry, and she showed she was angry. She talked about jealousy with her sister, and you could just feel with her, couldn't you, that jealousy over her sister winning over her. I think you did an excellent job sharing some of those emotions. One of the important things is to have an introduction and a body and a conclusion. And I felt pretty clearly that you did have an intro when you asked us a question, have you ever felt jealous? And she showed that jealousy there. I gave examples in a story form. And in the end wrapped up by showing how she no longer felt jealous and why. So that was clearly a major theme. in the middle, you know, she shared a little bit about how she was able to overcome this. And so I felt like there was a second theme, so I wasn't sure which one to follow. But clearly the jealousy, I think, came through all the way through. It really flowed. I felt like you really had the whole audience eating out of the palm of your hand. We say, like, we were really attentive and wanting to hear next what was happening, and just so appreciated your way of expressing yourself. And we look forward to hearing more from you, Noemi. We really enjoyed it so much. Thank you.
And our third speech was by Öznur in her last name. And that was Mustafa. If you'd come up here, he was the evaluator.
Fellow Toastmasters, first of all, we would like to know more about our guests in order to, no, I'm just kidding. Thanks Öznur for her beautiful speech, for her fifth speech. It's not evaluator's mind, but it would be nice to, at the end of our speech, it would be nice if we could stay all audience mind with only our one thing that we did in our speech. For me, what did she great for me, just to my mind, when she made her gestures, it was like touching to the presentation. It was not like doing these gestures like walking on the stage or not looking to the audience, to the listeners, but it was really great. She touched to her presentation like she touched to Ozan. It was really for me. It was because I expect her to just to make her gestures like about her presentation. We get lots of information about Rotarians and the other things. That was really great for me. But the thing that I left in my mind, the gestures are related with the presentation. That was great. For me, I told her in the break, like I had on my fifth speech from Noemi, she told me that you could select better topic for your fifth speech because you could make more movements, more gestures related with your subject. I could only recommend you about to selecting our title subject related with our projects. But at the end, I would like to finish with the rest of the evaluation part, like her gestures, her variety of her gesture, the other gestures, and walking on the stage and pointing the things, like pinpoint of the subject. That was all great, and waiting for her sixth speech. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Before we go on to vote for best evaluator, we want to hear from the tabletop evaluator. Who was doing? Oh, you are. Okay, Ozan. All right. And Fatih didn't make it. Ozan's filling in. Thank you, Dave.
Today, in fact, Faruk will be our table topics analysis today, but he couldn't make it today, so I'm taking his role. Okay. It was great. We have many speakers in the table topics. We have 6 speakers, so it's very short time, and we get very great speech. And Benjamin did very well. He's like, he called me off guard because I was his evaluator, and he called me. Okay, I was so. It was like a spontaneous talk, so I made it a talk. You remember my talk? So I'm not trying to evaluate myself, so I will start with Emre. Emre, it's your first day here.
Yes, yes.
You are on the stage, and he started with this referring to Mustafa's speech. It was great. For I think Evan is the first time in the Toastmaster stage. He made it great. Just I didn't like in his speeches. He just make eye contact with the Benjamin, not the whole way. It can be better if you did this. After that, Seda, our Izmir Toastmaster group, and she came out very long distance. So, and what she made inspires his life and the consequences. And she gave very good examples about her life, what it can be. So I think it was great choices because everybody affected. If you don't make your life simplify, so everything is affected. Your work, your life, your family relations, everything. After that, Leo, yeah. And he was also, is like me, off guard, and he came, what I'm doing here, hey, this is you need to be ready. Okay, and focus on one thing in your life makes it easier, and he made it with the studies. He already chose, I think, is focusing one thing makes your life easier and simplify. Because if you try to make everything, your life is becoming more complicated because distraction comes everywhere. So thank you for, I think it was great for focusing one thing. And Aydan, our timer, next. And she gave us her priorities. And I like the example about her future children. Maybe it's the most priority, so okay. Don't forget your children, okay? I think it's after the Rotary, because it's like when we do good things, we need to think about our children. So our what country delay came after the timer, and she was excited. She told, I think she made it great. I think she speaks very fluent in English. I think she doesn't need to be afraid of, because just make confidence. And Evan, I like her starting point because she started with exactly what she knows. Evan, she says, okay, I'm industrial engineer, I started to talk. And she changed the subject and we listened how the industrial engineer analyzed the process. It was interesting and I like so much. And thank you every speaker and thank you Benjamin for great speech, great questions. Thank you.
Well, now we want to vote for best evaluator, but first, I need to hear from you on the evaluators, time-wise.
Except Ozan.
You are not voting me.
Yes, but
I'm not eligible, sorry.
according to the minutes which is written here, except Ozan, the other evaluators are eligible to be voted.
And they are, remind us.
Gizem,
Okay.
Joy, and Mustafa.
Mustafa, yeah, okay, those three. So take a minute and vote for the best evaluator, those three you just heard, okay? Just take a minute. Who's collecting?
Evet evet. Tekerle tutunca etsin. Çok şey yok. Yerde.
Now, we also want to evaluate other aspects of the meeting, like the different areas, grammarian and the listener, counter. But first, we'll start with grammarian, which was Khan. Would you share with us your thoughts on how things went grammatically? You can just do it from
Can I sit here?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I'm kind of like surprised because most of us are not native speakers, except Naomi. I mean, she's already speaking English very fluently, and she makes no mistakes. Like for me, I never heard. So like some of the grammar mistakes I noticed, in my humble opinion. One of our friends said, visiting some of my flowers, it should be some of my flowers. And when you're speaking about the story which happened in the past, like I decided to do this and then, so I would, you need to continue like I would, not like I will. And it happened a few times with different sentences, but like when you're speaking about something happened in the past, then you need to continue with the past tense or past perfect, whatever. And I noticed that Rotarians has spent like using plural with singular grammars. So, and as I noticed, like getting many informations, like as I know, I'm not sure, but information cannot be plural, right?
No.
Can be. It must stay singular. So it would be better like getting a lot of information. It would be better to say. And one of my teachers have advised me is wrong, I guess, because you're referring to one instead of teachers, so it should stay singular as well. And most of us are using, including me, article before some private names. Private names cannot be article if they are not like a company. This is what I learned. If it is correct, okay, that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I was just thinking in English, that article, THE, is one of the hardest things to get your head around. I mean, are there rules? I guess, but we learn it naturally. So good job on that. Listener was Olgun. Would you share with us, Olgun, about some questions about the talks?
Hi. I took some notes about the prepared speeches, and I'll ask you, not in order. What was the Noemi's sister name that she mentioned?
Noemi's
She didn't say.
She didn't say it.
It's a fake question.
Cherito, Chirio. Cherito.
Did she say that?
I understand different.
Well done. The old bell.
Why she was detained when she was in high school? Why?
What was the question?
Why she was detained in high school?
Bad
She
marks?
hadn't done her work.
Total low grades.
Lower grades. Okay.
Pınar mentioned about her own family, so how many brothers and sisters does she have?
One.
No,
Two siblings.
more.
She's the third.
One sister.
Yes,
Three.
no,
She is the third and youngest.
Yeah. Two sisters.
She didn't say that how many brothers.
One
She
brother
said,
and one
she
One
said only
sister.
one sister, but
Yes,
we
one
don't know that if she has another sister.
Not
or
given.
But she said that
What
she
is it?
thought that her
Sister.
sister went
Because it's three.
to Istanbul.
Three siblings.
Three.
I said. I didn't say
She
I have a
said
brother.
three
or-
siblings, one sister. My sister went away, so she didn't say anything about the other sister or brother, so we don't know.
Oh my god.
The other question is, what was the lesson that Naomi had hard times?
Organic chemistry.
Yes.
Go to the
When Öznur was giving her speech, she said how many people?
1.2 million.
So the other one, what is the slogan that she used to describe Rotary's mission?
Spread. We are good things.
Good things.
We are
Good doing.
She said, doing good things.
Doing good in the.
Oh, service about self.
It's the commitment.
That's all.
Thank you.
Well done.
All fail.
And now the next area is the odd counter. Share it off.
Pınar 28, Joy twice, just.
Getting better.
Noemi, signatures and figures. Öznur 9, Mustafa 20 and a half. Because you see me and Seda twice, Emre 8 times, Benjamin once, Ozan 7,
Yeah, like seven.
Leo twice, yeah, Aydan 3 times, yeah, it's good. Dida 6 times, Ralph once, Izan 5 times, Carl 7 times. All of them 0. Yeah, I didn't hear.
Well done.
Right on. Okay.
You are the odd counter.
That was the word master, and the word was simplicity. Now, I did not. Okay, I'm in the running now. And I did not accept variations. Simplify. Many of you simplify, but I was being very strict tonight. Okay, I wanted simplicity, but you did. Wow, I'm at 2 already. Okay, so Gizem, you used it once. Elaine used it twice. Pınar looked like a clear winner at 4 until at the very end. She snuck in a poem. So Benjamin won it, and it's good job.
Is that really a Thoreau poem?
Yes.
Or did you make it up?
But I didn't know the word before I came.
Wow,
amazing.
Okay.
Well done.
I just want a very good evening on the. Let me just wrap up the evaluation time, and we had a good evening, and I had unfortunately missed a couple weeks, so I've come back, and there's some things you've added that have really enhanced the organization. There was the call to order, we had that, but then Mustafa came up with the public relations minute and the Toastmasters promise. I don't know that, I guess that's a regular part. That's a really good thing to add. And then just this program format is kind of new, and I like this too. So we're making innovations every time, and it's all good. Elaine had a nice theme. I thought it was very interesting.
Yes.
Simplicity and I'm already in second place. Add a few more and I'll win. I'll end with Thoreau's poem. So anyway, it's a great theme. I think we all enjoyed it, the theme that Elaine had. It's always good to have the intro for guests, and we so appreciate many guests coming. Thank you. Our talks, we had Pınar and we had Noemi and Öznur. They're all at different levels of, just beginning or experience, but they all did, from where they're at, they all did a good job. Very good. It was very encouraging. And it's really interesting through Elaine's topic and through the talks. Apart from style and how they speak, it's cool that we learn a lot every time we're here on different subjects. Then the table topics time, it was very good. Everyone, again, did very well. That's, in my opinion, some of the hardest part of this is to speak spur of the moment. And everyone did get said, this is your first time. You did very well. Blame me, I'm the one who said you picked you, so. But you did really well. Just the only thing I would say is, and it's a challenge, we started late, but that happens sometimes, and let's work hard on coming on time, but is that possible in Istanbul? Let's try if we can get here on time. But overall, great meeting, and one thing, a couple people commented that what they like about our club is the warmth and the friendliness, which they don't always find at other clubs. That's an advantage. Thank you all, because all of us contribute to that. A great evening, and so at this time, I'd like to turn it back to...
Thank you. Sorry. Now you're waiting to hear the one last recommendation. Of course, less is more. A very common theme as we see what we see in life today. And within that less is more, we are all influenced by media, so choose your media well and simplify your media. Don't be looking at everything you can, but choose the ones that provide the information that you really need or provide the encouragement that you want or need. Choose your media well. Keep your wardrobe minimal. A couple of major producers had a comment that they decided they were going to wear the same thing every day. And indeed they did. Black pants, black jacket, blue shirt. Maybe they varied the shirt, but they wore the same thing because then they didn't have to think about it. As I was reading online, there was another group of people and they have what's called a capsule wardrobe. And in a capsule wardrobe, they have a total of 33 items. That includes shoes, slacks, tops, hats, whatever other accessories, but in total, they have only 33 items. And I thought, you know, that's not a bad way to go, because in reality, you probably only use 100, because you always choose the ones you really like. So even in the area of wardrobe, keep it simple and less is more. The area of food. I'm always saying this one, eat real food. Eat real food, not things that are store-bought and packaged, but the food that's produced or bought from the trees and provides the greatest amount of nourishment for the smallest price. Don't be greedy. Greedy can always be one of those things that will desire more, whereas we really need less. Rest. Take time to just do nothing. Have an attitude of thankfulness, even for the less, because again, less is more. And savor the moments that you have. Just a few things that hopefully as you look at your life and say, what is really important, you'll be able to cross out a few things that are insignificant or unimportant and choose the things that are most important. Live your purpose, love others, and less is more. Thank you again, fellow Toastmasters, and I'll turn the meeting back to, oh, I'm sorry. This is the third thing I forgot this evening, but all good things come in threes. Right, let's have the winners.
And Joy had me to come.
Okay, and the winners this evening are, for our best prepared speaker, our winner is Noemi. Come on.
I'll take side pictures. You're a criminal.
Thank you. Our best evaluator for the evening is Joy Van Sloten.
First olgun ben Gizem.
Is that okay? Are we done?
And Mustafa. Okay, now the vote counters were Dila and Joy, and
Yes, I because she was. I did the counting.
I'm sorry to put you in that position.
But anyway, Dila came in first and Ozan came in second.
Oh.
Our winner for the best table topics award is Dila. I just had to look at that so I didn't look suspicious.
Olgun ben Gizem, ben Mustafa.
Mustafa video çekiyor.
Fotoğraf da yapıyorum.
Tamam.
Tamam.
Aldım aldım.
Okay, and with that, I will turn things back over to our
Thank you, Elaine, for making our lives more simpler. Simplicity, simplicity. Like, Napoleon, Okay, okay, now, very important event for us. We will make our 100th event. We already have Toastmaster. Öznur will be our